Gonna give it a minute to get going while I get ready. Hope everyone is doing good tonight. And for those of you that don't know, we have a full moon in Libra lunar eclipse. Okay, so that's what's going on tonight. That's what we're tapping into. Let me just get my candles ready. So let me go back to my little note that I wrote down. Yeah. Okay, so just kind of what I've been noticing in my own energy today is that I have been more focused on what I feel versus what I think. You know, following what feels right for me, not what I think I should do. Okay, so I've been doing this today, like, just breaking up my work day, not just working like through a certain time and then taking a break or then stopping, but it's like I started the day and did some work on my business, and then I did some work around the house, and then I took a break, and then I did some like yoga and took a shower, and then I posted some readings, and then I did something with my sister. So it was like I was following what I felt I wanted to do, not what I thought I should do. Because if I followed what I thought I should do, then that would mean, I would wake up, clean up my room, do my yoga and meditation, and then I would shower and like get ready, and then I would start working. And, you know, while it's good and normal to have your routines, like if that works for you. But I feel like some of us are stuck in certain routines that we just kind of picked up from, capitalism or certain societal expectations, like working a 9 to 5, having a lunch break. Like that's a thing that we've been taught, instilled, right? But we aren't all hungry at the same time. We don't all want to wake up at the same time. We don't all want to have dinner at the same time and go to bed at the same time. I don't like being in traffic, right? So like that's why I don't want to get a corporate or have a certain time frame of a job. You know what I mean? So I definitely noticed, and not just am I doing these things, but like I'm actively saying, like, I feel like this is what I want to do. Because normally I would say, I think I should do this, or I think I want to do that. But now I'm noticing I'm saying, I feel like. So I've definitely been tapping into my heart center a lot more. I recently followed along a yoga video, Yoga with Adrienne. Shout out to Yoga with Adrienne. Just want to brighten this up because it's dark. But yeah, if any of you guys watch Yoga with Adrienne, she's freaking fierce. But she had a video of like opening your heart center. And, I have just been opening my heart center a lot more. I've been being a lot more grateful. And I noticed that there's been moments where maybe it's been hard to be grateful, or moments where maybe I've been annoyed or just trying to rush something or trying to control whatever. I allow myself to find gratitude in those moments. And I noticed that finding that gratitude allows me to take time in my present moment, enjoy the journey, not be in a rush, that kind of thing. So there's been a lot of really cool realizations for me this past week and today. But with the full moon lunar eclipse, I just feel like it's definitely time to recognize anything that's keeping you from your heart center, from your highest truth, from living your best life, anything that, whether it's a mindset, a way of being that is no longer working for you. Oh, hold on a second. Let me get these little cones going. But yeah, whether it's a mindset or a situation or whatever, something that like we are finally realizing, like just kind of finally trusting ourselves and going towards what's actually good for us is what I'm feeling. A lot of us are finally listening to our heart. And like the past few collective readings, and usually it's with the full moon, new moon, we've been tapping into that kind of sentiment of just letting go of ego, listening to our heart. Oh, didn't know that there was a cone in there. Yeah, there's just been a lot of solid transformations happening within us. It's pretty cool. All right, cool. Let's let you guys see the smoke. All right, but let's go ahead and tap in. Let's see what's going on with the cards. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. I honestly love doing these readings. I love tapping in like this. It's so fun. Okay, I honestly don't know if there's like a lunar eclipse card. I feel like there should be, right? Like, wouldn't that make sense? Let's see if there's like a. Oh, yes. Okay, so moon phase, new moon, special moons. Yeah, I don't think there is a lunar eclipse. I thought that mic was being a little funny. It looked a little. One moment for technical difficulties. All right, sorry about that. I couldn't remember which mic I needed to charge, but now I know it was this one. So, anyways, now that we're back in action, there is not a lunar eclipse card, which is fine. But lunar eclipses, and I, was looking it up before I got in here. It's definitely about, releasing, letting go. I feel like this one is definitely just about acknowledging any blockages or just anything that is no longer serving you, any mindsets. See, there's a new moon eclipse, a full moon eclipse. Okay, so full moon eclipse is what we're at, right? Yeah. Waxing moon, waning moon. Okay, so I'm going to look for the full moon eclipse, and then we're also going to look at full moon in Libra. I just like to read a couple of the cards out of the book. All right, so let's just go ahead and get everything cleansed, and then we will tap in and see what's going on. Oh, okay. Gross. Okay. Not gross, but messy. All right. Just kind of cleanse everything. Get all of our intentions good. Thank you, everyone, for joining me again. I really do love doing these readings with everyone. And just tapping in, get y'all all cleaned up. All right. Let's see what's going on for the collective for this full moon in Libra, lunar eclipse. Please and thank you. All right, so I like to shuffle up the cards and just see what cards are near the ones we're looking for. And because I always think there's like a message there in and of itself. And then we can also see, just what else comes out. But yeah, let's get into it. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Let's see what is going on for the collective. What can we expect? What energies are coming our way for this full moon, lunar lots of these cards flipping over. Full moon, lunar eclipse. Okay, so we have a fiery climax approaches. It's time to take action. This is full moon and new moon in Aries. So for some of us, there might be something that like gets started because we're in Aries season right now, right? Aries season recently started. So this could be something that begins in Aries season and comes full circle by the end of it, or like maybe a seed that's planted in Aries season in the beginning of Aries season, and I just feel like something is really going to get going, or something is really going to come full circle by the end of Aries season. Adjustments are required. Prosperity lies ahead, and what you need to release. Exactly. So, like like I was saying, like I do feel like it's something abundant, something positive, but what do you need to release? Like I was saying, with the lunar eclipse, it's time to see what we need to release, what is no longer working for us. And it's about being accountable for that, you know, not blaming someone else or acting like it's someone else's fault, but recognizing where we maybe needed to step up in a few different ways. You know what I mean? So we can live a happier, healthier life. All right. So let's see what's going on. Let's tap in. Alrighty. Okay, so let's look. See, we have full moon in Libra literally right here. So I'm going to take this one, and then this one. Yeah, okay. Now let's look at the full moon eclipse card. There's the full moon. The full moon is literally my favorite card in this deck. It's just so pretty. Alrighty. Disseminating new moon eclipse. That's not what we're looking for. There's a super moon. South node. Fixed moon. First quarter moon. Moon. Full moon eclipse. There it is. Nice, 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 nice. Okay. Period. So let's talk about it. Okay, I feel like this is really dark. Is that my phone? Yes, it's my phone. That's extremely dark. Okay, cool. All right, guys. So with the full moon eclipse, we have conclusions are within reach. Okay. So let's just go ahead and read out of the book for that, and then we'll talk about the cards that were surrounding it. Okay. Here it is. Okay, here we go. Okay, so conclusions are within reach, full moon eclipse. So I always notice on this card how the moon is kind of behind some trees, right? So for me, this makes me think of like there could be some things that are maybe hidden, whether that's parts of yourself that are hidden, or maybe you just hiding certain things from others. But I just get this feeling that it's us with us. Like this doesn't feel like an interaction with other people or us blaming other people. It's us being accountable for our own selves. So I feel like a lot of us are going to be just revealing deeper parts of ourselves to ourselves and just being more honest about how we're feeling, things we want, things we no longer want, all that stuff. Okay, so let's talk about it. Conclusions are within reach. Full moon eclipse. And just like that, a door slams shut. If you've pulled this card, it suggests that the situation you're asking is about to reach a peak or has just done so. And the things are now out of your hands. What you're experiencing now is what your soul signed up for, a way for you to learn and for your soul to evolve. So allow events to unfold and be easy on yourself. If you're letting go of someone or something, know that it's the right time, as hard as it might be. Forgiving someone for what they did could be key to resolving the situation in a positive way. It doesn't make right what they did, but it releases it so you can move on. So yeah, that's kind of like the vibe I was getting. It's like we're definitely finally letting go of something, finally releasing something, taking back our power. And a lot of it has to do with like our accountability with the situation, finally allowing ourselves to let something go, to see the shift in a perspective. Okay, attuned to the moon. That which is meant for me will not pass me by. Additional meanings for this card. Doors which slammed shut now will not reopen. It's time for you to get back on track. Forgiveness will set you free of karma. Meditation, pranayama, and yoga nidra are all recommended now. Seed control and let events unfold. The teaching. Full moons are nearly always about climaxes and very often about conclusions. Full moon eclipses are the same but on steroids. So lots of big letting go. And like I was saying, like for a lot of us, when we're letting go, these are things of the ego, right? Or of the wound, of the shadow self that we no longer need to keep us safe, to keep us protected, to keep us, on our path, right? Like we can now follow our heart, follow our intuition. So that's why you might see like a big shift in thinking or, you know, forcing, controlling, manipulating, worrying. And now you're moving into an energy of trusting, hoping, and moving from the heart and soul. And as we're making those transitions, there's parts of us that we have to let go of now. For me, I've definitely been seeing that with like, you know, the expectations I place on others, and also forcing, not forcing, but allowing, recognizing that I need to be more grateful in certain situations, not trying to rush to the next step in my journey, but to be more grateful with how far I've already come. And that's just how that's been playing out in my life, right? Okay. A full moon eclipse can be hard to handle because it portents change, something many of us are uncomfortable with. But change is a part of life, and this card, no matter when you pull it, reminds you of that fact. Full moon eclipses can give us a glimpse into what Carl Jung, I don't know, called the shadow self. And that's so funny. I literally just said that. Work with your darkness. So exactly. This lunar eclipse is all about allowing yourself to be honest with different ways you're letting the ego, you're letting the shadow, the wounded self, the inner child, whoever, letting these parts of you control the situation. We're no longer resonating with these needs to control. We're recognizing how we can move in love and light with trust, faith, and hope. And through these realizations, we're recognizing the parts of ourselves that haven't yet made that transition, but we're acknowledging that, accepting that, and holding that part of us so we can transform it into love and light. It's only through acceptance, love, compassion, and through sitting with these parts can we transform them. And that's what this full moon lunar eclipse is inviting us to do, which for some of us, it can be difficult, right? It can be difficult to look at these, you know, parts of ourselves. But I feel like a lot of us are at the point where we recognize that, you know, this part of us kept us safe. This part of us, you know, was necessary for a certain time, but now we can move forward in a different energy. And now a lot of us are ready for that, which I think is awesome. All right, let's talk about it. So, around this card is adjustments are required and what do you need to release? So, yeah, a big part. Hello, Dan. A big part of rec- a big part of seeing what parts of us we've been hiding from, what parts of us we've been pushing away, is just recognizing what we need to release. So, what you need to release may be certain people, certain mindsets, certain behaviors that have kept you stagnant. So, for me, that was me not being grateful for my present moment, right? So obviously I have my own business where I do my spiritual healing, but I still work a couple days a week at a restaurant serving tables, and I like serving tables, honestly, I really do. But doing what I do, it can be hard for me to go back to that job a couple days a week. You know what I mean? So what I focus on, instead of focusing on like, oh, I'm just ready to do my business full time, I wish I could stop serving tables, whatever, I focus on, okay, well, I only have to work a couple days a week. I make good money. I like the people I work with and I like what I do. So instead of focusing on, oh, I wish I could just do my business, I can focus on, well, first of all, a year ago, a month ago, 3 months ago, yes, it's a spiritual reading. A few months ago, like I would have been dying to know that I was only working a couple days a week, right? So instead of being ready to go on to the next, to the next, to the next step, I just need to focus on how far I've come already, right? So for some of you guys, there could be just certain limiting beliefs or certain perspectives you're needing to let go of in order to see how far you've come, in order to be grateful, in order to finally let something go. Okay, and adjustments are required. So yeah, kind of the same energy though. There's just like some shifts, some releasing, some letting go that this full moon eclipse is bringing in for us, which exactly it's exactly what it's supposed to do. So it'll be interesting how this comes out in the tarot. Okay. So with the full moon eclipse, it is a full moon in Libra. So let's kind of tap in and see what that is. So it says a win-win outcome is forecast full moon in Libra. And like Libra obviously is the scales, it's about balance. Okay, so I feel like for a lot of us, we may have held on to certain beliefs, certain people, certain situations, because I'm going to do the reading right now, Dan, but I will definitely circle back around to your questions. It's just I can't do both at the same time just because I have ADD or whatever, and it's hard for me to focus. So I'm just going to do this real quick, and as I have breaks, I'll answer your questions. Okay. But as we are letting go of certain things and being more honest and accountable with ourselves of the patterns we need to let go of, we're recognizing that this provides balance, fairness. It's a win-win situation for everyone, right? So, for example, if I let go of somebody that I know isn't in alignment for me, that allows them to go find someone who's in alignment for them, and allows me to go towards someone I'm in alignment with as well, right? So, as we're making these changes, as we're letting these things go, as we're shifting, we're realizing, wow, I should have done this a lot sooner because this is perfect for everyone. Everyone wins, everyone's going to be happy at the end of this. So that's amazing. Okay, so let's read up about the full moon in Libra. And how did I start doing this? I started doing this when I was like 19, so that's like 7 years ago. And I went through a lot of like trauma, painful situations. I was very depressed, and I found tarot on Twitter. A lot of people had their messages, and I was like, wow, this is really inspiring, hopeful, loved it. So I started watching tarot readings on YouTube, and then eventually started doing my own readings for myself, for my friends, and then I just started a YouTube channel. So that's how I got here. Okay, so let's talk about it though. Full moon in Libra, win-win outcome is forecast. So like I said, even though these are some difficult realizations, difficult things to leave, comfort zones are hard to break out of, it's going to be for the betterment for you, for me, for everyone. Okay, so let's talk about it. The full moon in Libra is the sign. Okay, the full moon in Libra, the sign of partnership, of falling in love, and of closely relating to someone else. Since full moons are all about climaxes and conclusions, this card suggests you're either about to start a new relationship or that an important existing relationship is changing somehow, perhaps coming to an end or moving to a new level of commitment. So I definitely feel like for a lot of us, it's going to be a new relationship or the deepening of a current one, or realizing, obviously there's a million different aspects, or realizing that something isn't right, right? So like I said earlier, we're tapping into our heart center, we're listening to our heart, listening to our intuition more. So when we're moving from that space, we're going to either deepen relationships, and that can mean our existing ones can get deeper, or we'll find new relationships that are very deep, deep connections, or the current relationships we're in now that may have been built from our part of ourselves that like wasn't truly genuine, or not genuine, but like as we're revealing our true selves to ourselves, we're going to realize there are certain people who aren't in alignment with who this person is. So some of us might be walking away from certain things, still following your heart, but sometimes that may require walking away. But definitely a lot of new partnerships, deepening of connections, and realizing what partnerships aren't meant for you in this journey anymore. Lots of stuff going on. It's important to remember that people come to us for a reason, and sometimes just for a season. If a relationship is ending now, it's doing so at the right time, so try not to fight it. This card can also refer to a professional relationship. There is a sense that you need to balance your ego with someone else's needs. A win-win outcome is possible with give and take. Doing so might be the answer to your question. So like I said, we're not connecting so much with ego, which is how can this person serve me, or is this something I like or dislike? It's more so moving with the heart and knowing, is this my truth or not, kind of thing. And at the end of the day, we're all just souls, it's cool. Okay, let's keep going though. Attuned to the moon, let go of that which is falling away. So definitely a lot is being let go of at this time. A lot of relationships could be ending. A lot of perspectives could be shifting. Let that happen, right? Nothing is meant to last forever. There's summer and winter. There's times for blooming and times for hibernation. Okay? Don't force. Don't force. Okay, additional meanings for this card. See the other person through the eyes of love. It will change your perspective. and see an ending through the eyes of love as well. Understand that an ending allows you and another person, situation to find what you're meant to be with, you know? It's time for you to make a firm decision, time for you to focus on yourself for a while. Look after yourself, but avoid vanity. Now is a great time for a makeover. No matter when you pull the full moon in Libra card, it encourages you to find a balance between your desires and those of the people around you. Balance is a very Libran energy, and the full moon brings things to a peak. Dramas and upsets bring partnerships to the fore. Libra energy also brings love energy. Negotiations are easier. So, yeah, I like that. So, obviously, this change, this realizations, these things can be hard. But with this Libra energy, it brings a softness to it, which is very, very nice. You know, it's not necessarily harsh endings, you know, cold, brutally honest, but it's about being kind, balanced, fair with these realizations, which is important, right? Because you don't want to be acting out of ego and being like, well, I've realized this and I'm better than you. No, it's like, I've realized this. I want what's best for me and for you. And sometimes that means walking away, right? And so we have a personal issue reaches resolution, and look at the bigger picture. And both of these cards are full moon cards, full moon in Cancer, full moon in Sagittarius. So water and fire there too. So see, it's like a balanced thing. But yeah, it's just we're seeing ourselves deeper. We're meeting ourselves in a deeper space. So that means there's certain things that come along with that and certain things that fall away with that. And we're realizing that that is okay. That's perfect. That's what we're meant to do here. We're meant to grow and evolve and shift and change. And so trying to fight that would just keep yourself in a stagnant energy, and you realize you don't want to do that anymore. Not for you, not for anybody else. So it's fierce. I like it. I like it. All right, so let's go ahead and tap into the tarot now. I'm just going to set these cards to the side. So I definitely feel like for a lot of us, it's going to be like realizing certain things about relationships and then kind of changing our relationships accordingly, right? So some of us, there could be like finally letting certain people go, and then in that you meet your soul tribe. Okay, some of us, it could be like finally letting go of a certain wall or blockage and deepening the relationships. See, yeah, we have the King of Wands that flipped over. So I feel like we're just feeling a lot more confident. Yeah, the Three of Cups. We're feeling a lot more confident in deepening connections. Some of us could be a lot more social right now. And you know, it's Aries season, which is like the zodiac new year. So that could be like a lot of people are going out. It's springtime now. I just feel like there's a lot of new coming in. And in order for us to get there, we have to make room for it, which means there could be some endings happening. But again, with that Libra energy, these endings are happening in a balanced way, in a fair way, in a loving way. Okay. Okay, so bottom of the deck. So we have the Nine of Swords, the World card. So yeah, I definitely feel like initially there was definitely some worry, some fear in regards to an ending, in regards to letting something come full circle. Because the World card is the last card in the major arcana. And like I said, all of these cards are about an ending, you know, letting go, releasing, right? So I definitely feel like for those of us that struggled to get to this ending, to come to this realization, we're finally like allowing it to happen, especially with this Temperance card, the King of Wands, the Star card. Yeah, we're finally allowing healing. Yeah, with the Wheel of Fortune, Knight of Swords. Yeah. We're finally allowing things to flow. Hi, Jen. Allowing things to change, allowing things to let go. And we're doing so with a sense of peace. You know, we're not forcing, we're not doing like feeling like we're having to pull teeth, like we're just finally allowing something to be what it is. You know, some of us, we might look selfish, but at the end of the day, we're following our intuition. Okay. And some of us, yeah, it's going to be kind of painful for others. You know, we're going to have to maybe reject some people, walk away from some situations, but that's what this new chapter requires, right? So let's talk about it. Let's get into it. All right. Full moon, lunar eclipse. Yeah, absolutely. With the strength card. Okay, that's exactly what this energy is about. The strength card is all about walking away with love, gratitude, compassion, empathy, understanding. And this is also about appreciating all aspects of yourself, right? So you've got your sweet angel, you've got your ferocious lion. All parts of that exist within all of us, right? We've got our masculine, feminine energy, our shadow, and our light. We're moving forward with love and compassion for all parts of ourselves and love and compassion for the things we had to walk away from. We appreciate the lessons we've learned. We appreciate the things we've gained. Now it's time for a new chapter. I like this energy. It feels, yeah, like very gentle, very soft. All right, Knight of Pentacles, Eight of Cups. So yeah, like I was saying with the Nine of Swords and the World card, some of us, this was a very hard conclusion to come to, you know. Some of us, we could have like tried to, like, it's like we wanted to make sure that this was the right move. We wanted to make sure, like, do I really need to walk away from this? Is this really not bringing me fulfillment? And am I really, really sure that it's time to walk away from this? And now it's time. You know, there's no more going back. There's no more, you know, exactly. Like, we're ready for a new chapter. There's no more we can do about a situation. You know, there's no more turning the pages and figuring it out. Like, we figured it out, it's time to go. Okay. We've realized that something is not fulfilling. And, you know, this is the hermit before he enters hermit mode. So it's like, now we're ready to go into hermit mode. Now we're ready to listen to our heart, listen to our intuition. We're tired of not believing ourselves anymore. We're tired of not trusting ourselves. We've seen what that gets us. We're ready to start anew. Yeah, it's like we don't want the confusion. We don't want the chaos anymore. We don't want the back and forth. We don't want to be blocked off anymore. We don't want that. We want new opportunities. We want to be able to listen to our heart. And with Libra energy here, what's happening right now is a moment of pause to reflect on what's coming that way, what's not. And now we're going towards our happiness with clarity, with courage, with bravery. Beautiful. Love it. Yeah, it's just like we got tired of our own selves. Like, we were like, you know, how many times do I have to be shown that this person, that this way of being, that this behavior, that this job, whatever, is not for me? You know, it's like we finally started believing it. See, there's the Ten of Cups, the Ten of Pentacles. And all of this abundance, all of this happiness, fulfillment is coming in. But it required us to listen to our heart. It required us to take a step back from something, right? And with two tens, that's an ending. That's things coming full circle. That's the ending before the new beginning, right? Because you got your 10 and then you go to the ace, right? So things are closing out to bring in new abundance, to bring in happiness, to bring in fulfillment. Yeah, it's like we got tired of settling. We got tired of doubting ourselves. For a lot of us, I feel like it was like we had these expectations, we had this life, we had these dreams, right? And we just knew, we were like, I know that I can have all of this, you know? Like, I know I can have a good job. I can have something that I'm passionate about. I can have a good schedule and I can have stability. I can have all of these things. I don't have to trade, you know, time with my kids for health insurance and stability. I don't have to do that. And I can stop trying to convince myself that I do because it's not working, you know? Ooh, see, and there it is, the World card. Finally coming full circle with something, finally realizing that it doesn't have to be this way, you know? I don't have to settle. I don't have to compromise. I don't have to control or force or manipulate. I don't have to rush. You know, whatever the situation is, whatever you were trying to force, whatever, you know, like you're realizing you don't have to do that. You know, you can have fun, you can celebrate. We got threes here. Could be seeing a 333, right? But we're going towards happiness, celebration, victory. We're spending time with friends and family. Like, I feel like community is becoming very, very important. Like, not just community, but your happiness. Like, is this a life that you get to celebrate? Or are you just like, does it feel like you're clocking in and out of your life? You know what I mean? And see, I'm mentioning like work a lot. So for some of us, this could have a lot to do with our work or career. Some of us, it could be like with home and family, all of the above, really. Yeah. Ace of Swords, Two of Pentacles. Like it's for some of us, it might feel like a sudden realization or an epiphany. Or it's like with the Two of Pentacles, like maybe you were juggling things, weighing your pros and cons, and you finally realize, like, this is it. This is how I have to do it. This is what I need to do. You know, no more debating something. Right underneath the Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, it's like you guys were definitely debating something, going back and forth, trying to take your time with a decision or some sort of shift. In Eight of Cups, Ace of Swords, you've realized that's not working. It's time for me to move on. It's time for me to move forward. Strength card, World card. It's time to move on. For some of us, this could have been something that like started in Leo season, which is like I feel like that's July, no, August, September. No, that's Virgo season. I don't know. I'm not an astrologer. Whenever the seasons are, who cares? But Virgo season could have been, or not Virgo. See, who cares? Let's move on with the seasons. But yeah, it's just we're done weighing our options. We're done trying to figure out, like, is this the right thing? Is this the right thing? Yeah. Oh, see, and you're a Libra. Yeah, it's definitely a big, big one for you, Jen, for sure. For sure. Okay. But yeah, see, we have the King of Wands, the Star card. We're finally taking accountability for our healing, for our fulfillment, for our happiness. We're done giving to things that don't give back to us. We're done emptying our cup. And it's not even just being done with that, but it's realizing that we were the ones that kept giving. We were the ones who kept allowing these imbalances in our own life. And that's why this is happening with that Libra full moon, because it's time to bring the balance back. And it's time to feel confident enough, powerful enough to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not asking permission anymore, you're just doing it. And this makes me think of, I was watching Married to Medicine, and I do like my reality TV, and that's that, right? But I was watching Married to Medicine, and it's a lot of doctors, African American doctors, that are from Atlanta. And they were talking with somebody, and he was like, I like the younger generation because they're, and this was about like Black Lives Matter and things like that. He was saying, because they're not asking anymore. They're saying these are our rights, we deserve equality and all that stuff, and we're not asking, you know? And I definitely feel like that's been a trend just with, with my generation, like society and what you see on TikTok, and like the ceasefire in Palestine, like, we're not asking. We're telling you this is what you need to do, and if you don't, we'll boycott, we'll vote people out, we'll do what we got to do. But nobody's asking anymore, you know. And a lot of it is because we realize no one asked us. No one asked us before they took advantage of us or exhausted our efforts. And yes, we were the ones who gave and gave and gave, but now we're done. We're not asking anymore. Hit that like button if you're resonating. All right. See? And now look at where we're at. There's the Hermit. Like I just said, this guy is the Hermit before he goes into Hermit mode. Before you go into Hermit mode, you have to walk away from what's not fulfilling you, whether that's your own perspective and narratives and limiting beliefs, whether it's other people, whether it's a certain job, environment, a living situation, whatever. You have to identify these things first. So that's why it's important not to judge these things or these people or these situations, right? Because if you didn't know this wasn't fulfilling, you wouldn't have gone towards what was fulfilling, right? If you just had these blinders on, if you didn't gain this awareness, you wouldn't be anywhere, right? You'd be in the same situation but without the awareness, right? So that's why you have gratitude for these things, right? That's why we walk away with gratitude and compassion, because we appreciate learning this lesson. Thank you for helping me grow and evolve, because that's what we're here to do in this world. Okay? So having appreciation for these things. And now we're going within and figuring out what brings my fulfillment, what makes me happy. And you know, the Hermit, some people say that this lantern, this is the star here from the star card. And again, the star card is all about fulfillment, all about like happiness, your third eye, connecting with the universe. That's the sign of Aquarius. And this is a sign of Virgo. So some of you guys, some of these things could be coming full circle in Virgo season or whatever. But with the Hermit and the star card, Aquarius energy. So Aquarius is like the revolutionary, the philanthropist, the one that challenges the status quo, right? Like we're in Aquarius, the age of Aquarius right now, right? And we see like with TikTok, with all of this stuff happening, you know, lately with politics and everything. Obviously, everything's being questioned and shifted, and a lot of change is happening. So it's like understand that as you get closer to what feels good for you, sometimes you have to ruffle some feathers and things get uncomfortable, but that's just a part of the game, you know. You have to get uncomfortable so you are brave enough to do that journey within, right? Because it's not easy, because there's certain things that you have to let go of. Certain times you have to point in the, you know, in the mirror and be like, oh, i'm I'm the problem right there, it's me, right? So that's exciting, that's good stuff coming through. And see, again, we have the King of Wands and the star. So yeah, it's like we've gained the confidence to go within by getting fed up with something else. I like that. Yeah, there's judgment and there's temperance. Absolutely. Yeah, a lot of us realize like we have to make peace with certain things. A lot of us realize, you know, this is about taking your power back from the past, I feel. I feel like it's about realizing that you gave your power away and you know you don't want to do that anymore. So you appreciate the situations that taught you what it felt like to do that and how you don't want to do that. And now you're making a different decision moving forward, reclaiming your power again, you know, double time. And that's why those two tens are here. And this is 20, which is 10, right? So yeah, a lot of big realizations, a lot of big realizations. And see, the Hermit is number 9. So, and see, and then this, the 8 of Cups, and the Strength card is number 8 too, right? So it's like we had to walk away, and then we had to go within, and now we have to, you know, move forward, moving differently, right? Again, sometimes coming to these realizations is hard, right? But you have to come to them at some point. You have to go through certain things, right? Yeah, see, Page of Wands, Queen of Wands. And I like the Queen of Wands because she does her shadow work. There's a lot of evolution and growth happening here. A lot of us reclaiming our power. A lot of us also tapping back into the energy of passion and excitement. Being a little more impulsive. I like that. Yeah, Knight of Swords, Nine of Cups, the Wheel of Fortune. Just being a little more impulsive. Amazing. I love that luminous star seed. I also love that name. Absolutely. Yeah. Okay, so let's pull actually let me sit for a second. Let's just sit with this and let this kind of sit in here. So true. I'm trying to cut bad habits and align myself. Absolutely. And the cool thing with these like bad habits, these vices, right? It's like you may have needed these habits at some point, right? But now you have new habits. You have new awareness, new ways of being, new things you go to. So now you can let go of these old things with love and gratitude, right? That's where that number 8 comes from, that strength card, that 8 of cups. Thank you for, supporting me, being there for me, and helping kind of guide me toward things that I actually am in alignment with, right? Because we have to have something if we don't have the higher self stuff, right? Because we can't just be like stagnant and like in pause, right? And these experiences, good or bad, help us get closer to that. I'm not part of the collective mindset. That's okay. You don't have to be. Do your own thing, Stephen. You know? But see, just like Stephen coming on here saying this isn't for me. Okay, that's good. We all have that free will and discernment. And all of us operating it, whether that means it's different from what I believe in or what feels good for me, is beautiful. That's the whole point of this earth and of having individual, thinking. Is because some people think certain ways, some people think other ways, but either way, it's beautiful. You know what I'm saying? All right, fierce. Let's pull some more moon cards. It's not about doing something, it's not about doing things that are harmful, like taking poison vaccines and boosters. Well, at the end of the day, you can't control other people. You can only control yourself. So, what I would choose to focus on is things that work for you, that you don't find harmful, right? Because in not doing something is doing something. You know what I mean? In avoiding something, you're doing something, avoiding, right? So instead of focusing on things you want to avoid, focus on things you do want to partake in. You know what I mean? Like if you don't resonate with this message or you don't resonate with other things, that's good. Becoming aware of things you don't like is amazing. So use that awareness to then go towards things you do like. You know what I mean? That's the whole point of becoming aware of things you don't like, not to ruminate with them or to indulge in like the energy you don't like, but to focus on things you do like. Are you saying we shouldn't talk about it? Many have died from it. You can talk about it, but are you doing something positive to get something done? No, this person is definitely trolling or whatever, but at the end of the day, like, it still adds to the conversation. You know what I mean? So it's like, Stephen, definitely, like, like, are you possibly going to medical school to, um, maybe think of different ways we can get these vaccines, or maybe different ways that the trials are ran? Like, is there something in that field that you're doing? Or maybe you could be doing some sort of activist work. She will never admit to it if she took it. If I got a vaccine, I did get the vaccine. I did. And I do agree that there are other people that had very bad effects that were otherwise healthy. So, anyways, I'm just definitely a big person of everything happens for a reason. And you can either focus on the pain or you can focus on what you gained. And that's what I choose to do. All right, but let's get a closing message just to get a final bit of advice for this full moon lunar eclipse. And thanks for everyone for participating and hanging out with me. Let's close it out. Anywho. Okay, so final bit here. Communication is key, new moon in Gemini. And you are good enough, full moon in Virgo. You're good enough, Stephen. So basically, with the communication is key and you are good enough, this is just realizing, and confidence is your key to success too, that you are good enough to go towards this new chapter. You're good enough to break out of certain conditioning. You're good enough to not participate in trades that don't benefit you. You know, you're good enough to go towards equal give and take. You're good enough to go towards passion and happiness and abundance without compromise, right? And with communication is key. The greatest thing, like, you can have all this awareness and all these ideas and beliefs, but if you can't communicate that in a healthy fashion, then sometimes you'll get yourself stuck in a trap. You know what I mean? So just make sure with communication, you're communicating with love, with gratitude, with compassion. You know what I'm saying? Stephen, we don't listen. Jim, we don't have to participate with this person. It's just weird. It's not weird. Like, I understand what they're trying to do, but like, some people, it's kind of like you can't force someone to see your perspective. So it's like, I don't. So yeah, work through your fears, have faith in your dreams, believe in the impossible. Just know that you're allowed to have a life that you desire, that you deserve, a life of happiness and peace and fulfillment. But you just have to let go of the final bits of yourself that keep you from that. You know what I mean? So yeah. Thank you guys for watching. I think we're gonna leave it there. Um but yeah. I'm not into beliefs, I'm into logic and reason. Beliefs are your game. Feelings that dictate. Beliefs are your game. My game of logic and reason. You never get specific about anything. No matter what it is, you remain vague. Stephen, if you'd like a personal reading, you are very welcome to book one, right? I'm glad you found me too, Luminous Starseed. I appreciate you. I understand what you're trying to say, Stephen. I feel like you're trying to say, like, if you're always having to improve, then what's the end? But at the end of the day, I get that, right? So, like, at the end of the day, if you're happy and fulfilled and you're not looking to external things, that's the end goal, right? To be happy and accept yourself for who and what you are, you know? Once you're there, that's it. Oh, always believe in the impossible, you know? But Stephen, no, I totally get what you're saying. All right. We're going to move on. If you are wrong about something, then you will be seen to be a fraud with your cards. Yeah. I don't believe in like right versus wrong, especially with stuff like this. It's just about energy and what I'm picking up on. You know what I mean? But you know, Stephen, I do have like a newsletter, other things I do. If you want more specific energy from me, absolutely tap into those things. But I'm going to go now. But I do appreciate the conversation. Um, See, I just feel like you and I don't we're not on the same vibration because I don't like facts. Like, I believe everything can be molded and shifted. We all create our own reality, so there's nothing that is like fact. You know what I mean? Yes, everything is about perspective, feelings, and beliefs for me. And I feel like that's where we're getting misconstrued because I'm a big person of you create your own happiness, you know? Yeah, happiness is what you are. But I don't seek happiness because I know that comes from within me. Like, I don't, that's like seeking breath. I don't seek breath because it's within me, you know? It's a natural thing within me, just like peace and love, blood. You know what I mean? All right, we're going to bounce up out of here. I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a great night. Bye bye. I wasn't afraid of losing myself to COVID, okay. I don't know why you're so fixated on COVID.